మీరేంటిది ఇది పెట్టమంటారా తీసమంటారా?
అది పెట్టండి, అది మన ఇది.
అంటే మీరు మాట్లాడతారు కదా.
5 minutes ఆగుదాం, ఎవరైనా జాయిన్ అవ్వలేదు. Good afternoon, everybody. The session will start in another 5 minutes. Good afternoon, sister. You hear me, sister? I think you have to unmute yourself. You're not audible, sister.
Am I audible?
Yes, sister, you are audible now. Are you able to hear to me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, you are also very audible, sister. Very good afternoon. We shall now start the session. Very good afternoon and a warm welcome to everyone present for the session on positive change. As the saying goes, there is nothing permanent except change. So what we can possibly do is try to make a positive change. As you all know, struggle and stress have common words in our daily lives, and because of which we happen to suffer at times. If we take the changes we encounter positively, our life would become stress-free and more worthy. Today's session on positive change will basically throw light on the same and let us know how it can be welcomed with grace by transforming our personality and bring about strong future full of control and love. We have with us to talk on the topic Sister Praveena, who's from the Brahmakumaris organization. So without further ado, I request Sister Praveena to give a brief introduction about the organization and herself and start off the session. Thank you, sister.
Thank you, Simi sister. That was very nice. And today being this International Yoga Day, this organization which I belong to, I'll just give a brief intro of the organization. I don't know how many of you know about it. Brahma Kumaris is a spiritual organization that had been having the headquarters in Mount Abu, Rajasthan. It started in 1937. And the whole mission is all about, yeah, it's all about to bring some sort of a change in the whole society, and that too with the one solution, that how to bring the change through self transformation. So that is what Brahma Kumaris actually talks all about. And the major tool that Brahma Kumaris uses is meditation. where we call it as Raj Yoga meditation, where we tell every individual to throw some sort of a positive light in their own lives and bring the changes first in themselves, so that that will be effective for the others. So here, when we talk about Brahma Kumaris, it's not only just the sisters, but also the people who are coming into this and how they actually take benefit of this particular movement, and how they actually use this positivity in their own lives. So how they increase that sort of a thought process in themselves. All this also adds into this. And we have around more than 4,000 centers in 150 countries. And right now, coming to the topic called as positive change, this topic was actually selected by Brahma Kumaris for year 2023. So many of us, I think you all know about COVID and how we actually went through a big change in the world also. If at all you see, a lot of things changed. As soon as the situation has come, if you could see that how people happen to bring some changes in their life in a negative way and also in a positive way. Some went off into seclusion and tried becoming very negative into their relations also. That was a negative change. And the positivity is that we happen to actually meet everyone through internet, and that was a really positive thing that's happening. And at remote place we could we could have that connection with everything. So if at all we see how a positive change can be really effective. Change is actually there, but how it can be effective, that is what today we are actually going to see look into. So before we get into the session, I would like to ask a question, and you can answer in the chat box. If at all I want to bring change in my life, what change you really want to bring? Let's say social change, let's say personality change, let's say emotional change. What do you like? What is it that you really want to have? You can write in your chat box what basically really you want to have. It's audible, right? Everyone are able to listen, right?
Yes, sister, you're audible.
Yeah.
She's getting
Okay.
responses.
Equanimous change. Okay. And what else? Any other thoughts? A positive mind. Any more ideas? Any more thoughts from your side? A peaceful life. What else? Energetic and motivated life. Okay. Good health. Mhm. See, when I think about the change that's happening, I have to first think that is it really positive or negative? Because unless and until I have an understanding about it, I can't actually, double voices coming up. So when I think about a change, it's very important to know that whether it's positive or negative. Let's say I want to as all of you have mentioned something, they're all mostly about something nice, something new, something happier, and something which can give us happiness. You know. So how do you think that whole of this lot, that thoughts that are going to come into my life? How are they going to serve me? Let's say I want a good health, let's say I want a peaceful life. So how do you think the first move has to be from our from our side. Let's say I have to take the first move. What do you think? What is the investment that I have to put? I want to have invest something, right? Like there is one aim that I put to. Let's say I want to become a doctor. I have to go for MBBS and then I have to do something. Anything in our life, if at all we want to become, there are some things which we have to add into our lives. If at all you notice, if at all I have to change something in my life, I have to add something in my life. So let's say to become a doctor, I have to add some study, some education, some sort of a lifestyle management. I have to give more, it's 80% of into education and studying and focusing and things like that. So there are some sort of a small changes that I have to bring in my day-to-day life so that I can achieve that goal. Yes. In the same way, if I want a life which is very happy, which is very peaceful, which is really having good health, what is that I have to bring today in my life right now? Is some sort of a thing that is giving rise to that particular goal. Yeah. Let's say a peaceful life. So I have to be peace with my present now, right? I have to be, having a good feeling with my health right now, right? So that means I have to have some investment about the future right now, and that investment should be from my side only. It can't come from from a person. It can't come from a life. It can't come from a environment. It's not going to come that way. If at all there is a market where we can get peace or happiness or something, I think by now everyone would have gone for that. But I have to basically earn it from myself. And when I say the positive change has to come from within, what I exactly have to do is I have to bring that sort of a change from inner self. In a sense, I have to get some sort of a understanding of peace, understanding of happiness, understanding of gratitude or health or whatever right now. So from where that understanding will come? Let's say I want to have an understanding. From where I will get that understanding? They say anything that I have to do, there has to be some sort of a knowledge about it. Let's say about myself also. What knowledge do I have? But presently, if I want a very peaceful life, right now I want peace. So from where that peace will come, let's say, from where it is going to come? If I have a past which is too much disturbing me, if I have a present which is giving me too much of stress, and if I have lot of situations which are around that are giving me too much of trouble or problems or some sort of things, I don't think so I'm going to be peaceful, right? So when there is disturbance, how can I actually achieve peace? So that is where this tool called meditation helps into. It helps right now. So this is a very nice tool which we actually provide. And what it does is that it will help you to actually connect yourself, connect your good self, where it will help you to give some sort of an understanding about our own self and people and also the environment that we are in. Because the more I keep on thinking of others, or the more I keep on thinking about what I have to do, how much I have to do, and this keeps us nowhere. This and gives us nowhere. Now what happens is that I keep on thinking, and too many thoughts gets me nowhere. So when I wanted to really have that sort of a peaceful peace in my mind, I need to be very much being with the self, and that art I can learn through meditation. When I say there's an art, and when I say this meditation means to be with the self. Being with the self in such a manner where I can contribute some sort of a understanding towards my life, towards others, and towards myself. We'll do an exercise right now at this point of our. I know everyone is listening right now. We'll just do an exercise. 1 minute, just this minute. Now it is 3:15. Just this minute, everyone, whatever you might be doing, you might be listening to me, or you might be just thinking about something, or you might be doing some work or whatever. Just take 1 minute of time right now for your own self. And this 1 minute of silence, just leave everything. It might be your hand is full of papers, or it might be you're just listening to this audio, or you are just thinking of something. Just leave everything right now for 1 minute. It's now 3:15 until 3:16. I want you to just be in silence and remember that very day where you happen to find lot of happiness right now in your life. What is that particular day that you really happy about? Because everyone had their own past, their own things. That happy moment right now, being here at this moment, at this point of time. Okay, we'll do this. Right? Okay, did you remember that moment where you had very good feeling? A very good feeling. You felt very happy. Yes? Did you remember? If yes, you can just say yes. If no, you can say no. I just wanted to know whether you are listening, you're able to remember, you could do that in silence. Yeah. Thank you. Anyone else? How did you feel? See, we call this as a mind exercises. In a second, I could actually take my mind to that past where I could feel that sort of a happiness, no? And what did we all do basically? We just happened to give an order to the mind, go to that place where you got so much of happiness, and immediately rushed into the past. Don't you think so? That means the mind has the power to travel into the time. Did you notice? You understood? The moment I think, the thought is so fast that it just isn't so clear. It's able to run into the past and then also search according to your life what all the memories that you had in a very we are actually faster than Google, if at all you see. Immediately it produced that particular scene where you happen to feel very happy, very peaceful. That means the mind has so much power. And imagine if the mind can do all that in just 1 minute, why can't it bring the peace and happiness in the same minute then? You know? So that means the self has the power to heal. Self has the power to design, design the future, design the life which is going to come in the future too. And that self actually can frame it. Only thing it needs is what? It is able to frame it. Only thing what it needs. You tell me what basically it needs. Basically what it needs. It's able to do. It's capable basically. But what is the ingredient that it has to have so that it can do things. Focus, very good. And the main ingredient that the self needs to have. So that because see, we are capable. We know what is peace. We know what is happiness. We know everything. Like when I asked you, what is that you want to have a change, you immediately replied, yes, I want this, I want that, because you know things, you have the knowledge. But what is the main ingredient that I have to add to it so that that can be attained? What main ingredient I can add to it? Any ideas? Anyone? Who? For the focus to happen, for the hope to come, what is it that is important? They say willpower and execution plan. Main ingredient is time. Time in the sense I have to take, like right now, when I told you all, now 1 minute, just 1 minute, you be with yourself. You're able to do it, right? That is all we have to do. I have to be able to take the time where I could actually dedicate that time only for my own self, and purely without any interference, without any sort of a contamination. Sincerely, if I take time for myself every day, nothing like it. In that you get willpower, in that you get focus, in that you get hope, you get everything in that. But the problem is we are very busy. If at all you see, if at all you notice. Now, the other day, one person came to a center and he was telling, Sister, I don't know what's happening in my life. I said, what's happening? He says, see, he's an elderly gentleman. He might be around 50 years or something like that. And he says that, sister, now that I have come to this level he's working in bank basically, and his children are all settled. They are in US, and here he's having wife, and they are all very cool and nice. But touch wood, there's no problem in health also now till now. All that is very good. The thing is, he says, sister, why am I so happy? I said, it's good to know that you are happy. Sister, I'm so scared. Like, why? अरे कुछ तो होगा शायद, क्योंकि पूरी दुनिया में सब कुछ किसी ना कोई को क्या कुछ ना हो रहा है. Something will happen, maybe, sister. Still, I said, what? Most of the time, many people have seen, if they have time to themselves also, they don't know what to do with the time. They really don't know what to do with. Because I remember one person comes to our center, meditation center, and I said, brother, you sit in the meditation room for just 1 minute. I'll just come back and I'll talk to you. And he just went into the room and just in no time he came out of the room. And I said, what happened? He said, sister, itne sare thoughts aa gaye, main kya bolu? Imagine if I take time to myself sincerely with a lot of understanding, and with that laksha, with that sort of an aim, I will dedicate it for positivity. If I take time to myself and I don't know what to do about it, then I'm sure that I will be going into negative. That's it. A lot of people. Investment is not the problem, but investment in what? Am I investing my energy and how? That's why we made this topic as it's an year for positive change. Yeah, change has to happen. Like today, nowadays, people are all telling me we need change, we need change. It's too much. Like it's a lot of work. I need change. I need to get out of from this normal way of the mundane life and all that. Okay, that's good. Change has to be there. If not, this something else will come also. Okay, but is that change healthy? Is that the change which I really, making my life? That I have to think. If at all I am bringing some change and it is not at all, adding to my, adding value to my life, then what is the change for them? Let's say I'm going and sitting in the room and I'm thinking I'm taking time for myself. But whenever I sit, I'm going on thinking my life is waste, it's good for nothing, this is how it happened, how I don't know why that person is like this. If I go on thinking about this, do you think this is going to add something to your life then? It's basically degrading the self. It's basically making the self really down. Don't you think so? That's why it's very important to know if I want to bring a change, it has to be positive. And when I say a positive change, it has to give some sort of a design to my future. And the future should be in such a manner where, come what may, I have to remain stable. Then I can say, oh, that's how I want my life to be. You know, like let's say I need some sort of a life where it is secured, happy, peaceful. If I want this, I need to be strong. There's no other choice. Do we have any choice? There's no other choice. That's the only thing. I have to be strong, and that is when I can say that yes, that's a very beautiful life that I'm going to have. Now, to be strong, I mean, what do you mean by strong mind? What do you mean by strong mind? Let's say I want a strong mind. I don't want any sort of a weak mind. Now, what do you mean by strong mind? Not to have too many thoughts. One task and so much energy spent. No meaning, no? That means I don't know how to basically do an action, basically. Don't you think so? One task, less energy, more profit. Nice, everything is happening. So much energy was spent, and the whole of the work only is so bad and not at all so good, and people are really having complaints on it. Then you are at loss, then, don't you think so? Here also, in the meditation, when I say you have to meditate, meaning is you have to connect to yourself in such a manner that whatever time that you have spent with the self or for others, it has to be very peacefully, very with patience, with love, with the joy. I need to do it. Lot of irritation, lot of frustration, lot of negativity. If these are the thoughts that I carry, in no time there are a number of thoughts and the work is very less. See, negativity is always having less profit and more investment. This is negativity. This is how it works. Positivity is one thought, more profit. That's good, no? So when I want to bring a positive change, I have to only have attention in three aspects. One thing, what I'm going to listen to. It's very important. Am I having information that is coming to me which is good? You can control it. Some people say, sister, what to do? My environment is like that, my people are like that, people keep on talking a lot of things and I have to listen. No. There is something called as a gate in the mind. You have to shut that off. If you don't want to listen, let's say someone are coming and going on talking anything, something which is waste of time basically, which you don't have to give some sort of a thing on it. But what you should do, you should just put the gate off in the sense, I should say a big no into my mind that I'm not going to listen. This is a very good practice. Sunte hue nahi sun. I have to practice this. While listening, you should not listen. Because what I listen has an effect on mind. What I talk has an effect on mind. And what I think has an effect on mind. And what I see has an effect on mind. So these are the three things that I have to actually underline on, because these three things are all under my control. Others are not under my control. I can't control a person. I can't control a life situation. I can't control, something that's going to happen in your future. I can't do it. That is all there. That is all not there. One thing which I can control is I can control my thoughts. I can control my words. I can control what I see. I can control what I listen to. And the moment I get control over that, I can control a situation that's really, making me very bad or making me feel very worse. Sometimes many people come to us and then say, Sister, such relationship, my God, I have gone through so much of trauma and everything. But I say one thing to them, whatever it might be, it might be a very big situation. But what do you think about the situation? That's all matters. Nothing matters. Because the moment I control my thoughts about the situation is going to change. It's like that. So when I say positive change, I just have to control these three. That's it. If I control my thoughts, situation changes. If I control my words, relationship changes. Today morning I was meeting a person, and he was actually talking about his wife. It's been a while. I think we met after a year. So he was telling, Sister, I don't know what to do. My wife doesn't listen to me. I give so much of facilities. She keeps on, even food also we have to bring from outside. She's so lazy. So many complaints. I said only one thing, brother, when you go into the home, what contribution you make? I asked. What is the contribution that you do? He went on thinking about it. And then he said, Sister, when I go home, I actually think there should be cleanliness in my home. So you think there has to be cleanliness. What do you contribute from your side? I said. Again, he went on thinking. And he said, Sister, I want my children to be good. I want my wife to be settled. I want my wife to be happy. I want my home to be clean. I want this. I said, these are all wants. But I am asking, what do you contribute at your home? I said, I give them money, sister. Imagine, that is it. That is it. Huh? What? So I told, when you go home, check. Am I loveful to them? Do I contribute love to them or not? Just check. Because as soon as I go home and I tell my wife, you be here, you go there, you don't do this, you be here, it's all ones. If I'm becoming very bossy at home, that means I'm expecting a lot from others, na? Don't you think so? That's why. If you want to change relations, I mean to say change in relationships, you need to control your words. Then he went on being correct. I will not tell anything, sister, from today. It is done, he said. I have to have control over the words. The more I control my words, relationships are changing. Automatic. I don't have to shout for things. I don't have to, be rude. I don't have to be rude. I don't have to be cheap in my conversations. There's a choice. I can be sweet in my conversations. I can talk with love. I can expect less little. I can understand others. At least if I give a gate over here in the words, na, they are going to settle. Most of the time, I've seen in people, they are not able to settle in the relationships because of what expectations or too much thinking about that relation. See, you yourself see in your life, whatever you are thinking too much on, that actually is the problem. Yes or no? Abdi, right now in your life, the place or the area where you are thinking, na, that actually will be the problem. Don't you see? So that clears all. I don't have to think much then. I better not think about those things too much. The more I think about it, it is creating too much of problem. So why am I thinking so much? I better lessen my thoughts. The more I make my thoughts less, create good energy. and create good thinking, a good feeling at least. I create a good feeling for that person. Everything is going to change. Your future is going to change. What else I can tell you? Many people say, sister, do you think we can change our future? I always say yes. I say yes because it's in your hands if you can control your thoughts. And every person can control their thoughts. It is irrespective of the person whom you live with or the situation that you have. It doesn't have anything to deal with all that. You decided, I need to change my thoughts, it will be changed. I need to change my feelings, it will be changed. Only thing I have to do is I have to make a decision. How much time do you have to get? I mean, how much time you need to have to take a decision? Tell me. How much time? 1 hour? Just to take a decision, how much time you want? 1 second, don't you think so? If you just take a decision, that's it. And one decision today onwards, I'm not going to think about all this crap. I'm going to have a good feeling. And one decision, and the life is changed. And that decision makes everything normal. Today in our lives, maybe some situations are there. Some situations are too much taking our mind. Some are like heaviness on the mind. It's like too heavy to deal with. Some people know in the world, what do? If there is something is too hectic for them to deal, they keep that situations under the carpet. And since they don't want to deal with it. Okay, you are postponing the situation, but what is happening when you're going on hiding it from yourself? You're feeling heavy because you can't hide from your mind. Na? Mind is having that feeling always. They'll go for a movie, they'll go for with friends. But the situation is the same, don't you think so? I have to deal with it. And to deal, there's only one technique. One thing I told you, control of mind, thoughts, and words and all. Another thing is to settle it, to resolve it. And that technique is to have a good feeling. You know what? Anything, if I want to end it, if I don't want that to come again and again in my life and bother me, I need to give a good wish to that. It might be a person, it might be a situation, it might be anything. I have to have good feelings towards them. And that's the only solution. The more I give that good feelings to them, the more situations are going to be very lighter and non-troublesome. And to give that good vibrations to them, I need to have a stock of good feelings. You know what are good feelings? You know what are good feelings? Not to think negative of anything is a good feeling. Let's say a person is coming to you and he's talking about something, and you can take that in a different manner also. He's coming to you and talking, I don't know why he's all talking about all this. I think something he needs from me. It's a waste thought. I know he's telling because he doesn't like me. It's a negative thought. I can as well take that whole sort of situation and then say, how nice of him to actually come to me and then talk, being busy also. He considers me and then talks, being positive. So, for every action, there is some underlying feeling, right? That I have to change to positive. The moment I change that into positive, the past is going to end and any unsettled things are going to disappear. This is the second technique. First technique, you remember the three things. And the second technique is giving good wishes. And that also happens through mind. Nothing else. And the moment I actually start giving those good wishes, automatically the thoughts to the person or to the situation that whoever you're connected to, their thoughts also will change. Their will also change. It's going to happen. That is there. One thing is there. When you start a change, let's say I started a change. Let's say I have invested my energy in producing good feelings for others. It's not going to be wasted. It's not going to be wasted in the sense it will surely reach that person today or tomorrow or after 1 month, whatever time. It depends on the intensity of the relation that you have. It's going to it's going to have an effect on him. That's why we say it's very important to know how to settle the past, how to settle any unresolved issue. And the moment I do that, automatically the feelings are going to really change. We'll do an exercise right now. Just sit in silence again. And then what you do is try to remember that person or a situation that you are in right now and present. You're facing a lot of problems with that situation, with that person. Try to remember that and then sit back in silence. And in silence, try to feel that person, whoever he might be giving you a lot, or he might have given a lot of hurt to you, or the situation was really stressful. Remember and then try talking to yourself. And one word that you always tell, जो भी हुआ बहुत अच्छा ही हुआ था. It's very important to tell this word. And it's very, very important. Why? Because the moment I tell this, let's say he's a very nasty person. Let's say the situation is very worst also. What is there in taking the thought that was good? Why? Because if I think what has happened to me after the situation, if I just note something or other, maybe I became matured by that, maybe I got a lot of understanding by that, or maybe I happen to know I got a lot of information by that. What is the learning that I actually got from it? You will surely get something or other. That. So try to remember that situation and try to find out what is the learning that you got from it right now. Okay, and if there is a person whom you feel it's really troublesome, I can't even face it, and all that things, then try to understand. I mean, try to actually see what is it that I have to give to that person so that he becomes happy. What contribution that I have to make so that he becomes happy. Okay, we'll sit in silence for 1 minute again. Are you done? Okay. So how did you feel? So what learning that you could see about the situation? Yeah. change myself. Anything else? That's it. These two exercises that we actually spoke about. Basically, if at all you see, everything is happening through mind. We are at the same place. We are doing the same things what we have been doing. Only thing what we did was we carried our mind into that particular movement or into that particular feeling, and the mind went. And the moment the mind has gone there, I could basically talk to it and try to make it available according to my understanding, and it did. So that means whatever I say or whatever I talk to my mind, it listens. And why not I do that every day? Not about this situation, but why not I have this particular dialogue with myself every day where I can actually talk to the self, talk to the mind, and then say, I don't have to think too much. I don't have to think such bad thinking or such negative thing, and it listens. And the more I have this relationship, you know, stronger and more closer, the control also becomes powerful. And that is when I can say mind has got such control over the self. If at all the mind, if at all I keep thinking about the situations too much, let's say something has come, some person is a problem or something is really bothering me, the situations become stronger and my mind becomes weaker. So if I think about myself more, and the situations will become weaker and the mind becomes stronger. So that's why we show a nice slide. Simiban, can you please share that? This is a slide where we will be actually showing you the 36 virtues, and I want you all to pick one value from that particular virtues, because these 36 virtues that I'm going to show it right now, it's all there. Everyone has those virtues basically. Yeah, only thing is that what is that value that we kept on using in our life predominantly? What value we kept using? In all the six virtues, what is that one value I've been using? Just try to put that in the chat box. What value are we using? Everything we have. If at all we see them, we know what it is all about also. We know what is appreciation, we know what is generosity, we know what is honesty, we know everything. But what value I've been using in my life till now? Yeah, you can put in the this chat box. What values that you've been using till now? Simplicity. Okay. And 32 values you've been using. Acha, the number 32. Okay, okay. Uh-huh. Simplicity. Oh, a lot of simplicities are there. Okay. Acha, same person. Okay. And who else? Self-confidence. Okay. And obedience. And discipline. Hmm. If you notice, whatever you have selected, that means that is the virtue that you actually worked on. If you see those values, whatever you have seen now, that selection you have done because you know about it. Yeah, respect, correct. You know about it and you wanted to use it, and at the same time, you wanted to know that this was working for you. Like I remember my friend always told, you know what, I always put my room very clean. And she loves doing it. That's what she is doing also. And because she is doing, she's appreciated for her cleanliness. Parents appreciate, and we also appreciate. With meaning, a person when he is basically bringing a value into his or her life, he basically always underlines, he pays attention to it. That means when I pay attention to the value, it will come. Don't you think so? Only thing I have to do is I have to focus on that value. Let's say I have value called as enthusiasm, but I don't have goodwill. Let's say. But if I focus on that goodwill, it will come into my life. Because I know about goodwill. What do you mean by goodwill? Having good feeling for it for others. I know about it, so it comes off. So the other values also, they do come into my life when I actually focus on them. Only thing that I have to do is I have to take a thought before the day is going to start. And the thought should be all about today I decide to bring honesty in my life. I'm going to be honest. And this is called as a willpower. And the moment I get this thought, it's going to happen. I just have to think about it. And for that, I need to end all the waste thoughts. Na? Then I can think. Okay, another one more exercise before we end the session. And this exercise is about, like, let's say, one thing right now we were all talking about the mind power. And we actually told you that, when you are having this particular power of the mind, the exercises that I told you, you just have to control and things are going to happen. And I also told even the future also, it's going to be designed according to you if at all you are able to do that. The next thing, which it's, let's say some situation is there in your life, it's very hard. And I know it is not able to, sometimes we get stuck. We don't know how to get out of things. And sometimes it becomes so problematic. There are a lot of questions that comes into your mind that why this happened the way it is. Why people are thinking like that. And a lot of questions people do come. That point of time, there is another energy. We call that as external energy. And that energy, which when felt, you're out of that too. And that is what I want you to do right now. And it's a very nice exercise. It's a silent activity again. And in this, what I want you all to do is think about, in the sense, you don't have to think, but you just have to, uh, any sort of a question that you kept on having in your life till now. And you never got that answer till now. Sometimes it so happens that why in my life this has happened? Why people do talk to me like that? Or, some questions you'll get. And how many ever times that you have asked, there was no answer at all. So think of that question right now. So maybe please put that next slide when I say yes. And then what you do is that particular question ka answer I'm going to show in the slide. And this is an answer from God. Think. You're asking this question to God. Think about that. And ask that question to Him. And select one number from 1 to 20. Any one number you select. And that will be your answer. Okay? We'll do that right now. Sit in silence. Think of that question which was never answered. Put in front of God. And say, God, this is what it is. And this is what it is happening right now. Please do, what should I do right now? You tell me. And think of a number, 1 to 20. And then an answer. Okay. You can put the slide soon. So you would have selected one number, and whatever the number that the box is referring to, that is your answer. Okay, if you all got your answers. It's like answer from God. You selected your number? Yes. Whatever has happened, happened. I will give you strength to move forward. See, that's your answer. Number 5. Team. Don't carry burden on your head. I can take care of your burden. You remain light. And I will guide you and take you across. Don't be scared of obstacles. They're stepping stones to success. See. 3. Don't let situations pull you down for everything out there. Just remember, but I am permanent and I am with you. See, whatever that you have you selected, and I'm sure that you got the answer for your question that you always asked. So remember this answer always, whenever that question comes again. And you see so much of energy you'll get from inside. You'll feel, yeah, this is the answer, and it's going to happen. Because see, when things are happening very bad, you basically drain yourself. You don't know what to do, how to do. It's very dull. That point of time, this particular reminder, you know, of this particular sentence, you just tell and you get a lot of energy, because this is coming from where? It's God, no? And automatically it will fill the self with that energy and positivity. Okay, so we'll conclude the session with this. If you have any questions, please let me know. And then we will end it with few minutes of silence if no questions are there. Just 2 minutes of silence, like how to start the day every day. Try to experiment this particular thing every day, maybe for 7 days. Experiment this, about those 2 techniques and also this 2 minutes of meditation. Any questions from your end? No more questions? That is it? Achha, Raj Yoga. The Raj Yoga is about how to have that sort of a yoga means connection. Yoga means disconnection. I connect to myself in such a manner where I have control over my own senses and my own life, my own thinking, everything. So Raj Yoga helps you to connect to the self like a master. So there are a lot of yogas. There are karma yoga, jnana yoga, and all that. But that is just connecting to the knowledge, connecting to your karma, connecting to your thing. But Raj Yoga is something where you're connecting to the original self and original God in such a manner that you have mastery over the self. Okay. We have 7 days course for that. If you're interested, we can do that also. Just 40-minute session. We do it. And every day-to-day life, how to get into the life also, they will tell you. is also there. Any more questions? That is it. Then we'll sit back in silence for 2 minutes, meditation. And in this, I'll tell you that how I need to talk to myself so that it is prepared before I go into the beginning of before I begin my day, how to prepare my mind stronger so that whenever I get into action, get into the beginning of the day, I'm filled with full energy. And you do experiment this particular meditation for 2 minutes for 7 days. Do it for 7 days. I mean, for a week. And then any sort of a questions you have, any sort of a thing, you can always contact my sister. She can give my number. We can contact you, or any questions also you can contact us, not a problem. But just experiment with this. That is when you will have an experience, no? Okay. We will just sit back. And whatever I tell, try to feel that. Try to feel those thoughts. Try to visualize it. Okay. Sit back in silence. Sitting here for a moment, I put all those thoughts that are running in my mind aside. I let them go. I stop my own self in thinking about the past, future, and any situation that is worrying me. I put my mind in the present. And as I sit, I focus my thoughts on myself. And as I focus, I visualize myself in a beautiful environment which I love to be. I visualize greenery around and a small lake, and I'm sitting beside it in solitude, lot of silence, and I'm thinking. I look into the sky. I look into the lake. I see myself quiet and peaceful. I tell myself, I am the master of my life. Whatever I think is going to happen. And I decide to always feel good, to always take such good thoughts today about my people, about my life, career. Today, I take this time to decide about something that is good that is going to happen in my life. I'm the creator. And I create this thought to create my future. I tell myself, whatever happened is good. Whatever is happening is good. And whatever will happen will always be more good. I feel good thinking about it. I feel things are going to be better. I feel there's a hope. And I feel everything is going to change. I just have to wait. I just have to be patient. And things are going to settle down. But I know God is also with me. I look up into the sky. I see He's there, watching me down, giving me that courage, giving me that all the values that are needed. And He's telling me, I'm there for you. And that's all I want. And I know I'm going to be fine. And I know life is going to be beautiful. Slowly come back into the same room. And I begin my day. Okay? Shanti. We say Om Shanti in Brahma Kumaris. Om means I am, Shanti means peaceful. So basically, my religion is peace. And every person, religion is peace. So when we meet, we say Om Shanti. So I am peace, you are peace. Okay. Thank you for listening to me. And we'll again meet with any sort of programs ahead. Please let us know. Okay.
Sure, sister. Shanti. And I thank you a lot for such insightful and thought-provoking session. And before we end the session, Sri MVN Rao, who's our admin manager, will like to deliver the vote of thanks. May I request sir to please deliver the vote of thanks?
Thank you very much, sister, for your wonderful and in today's fast-changing world and stressful life, the positive change is the important aspect for everyone's life. And in simple terms, you have given us the important aspects of positive change, how to change our life, how to change the situation, how to change our relationship, which are very valuable in our day-to-day life and for peaceful and stressless life. Thank you very much once again.
Thank
Thank you, sister. With this, we end the session. And thank you.